find inspiration in what we see here today. When what we see in communities across the United Kingdom at this moment in response to this assault on democracy and on our environment. The fight back begins today. Hope is found in the groups and the local people, like yourselves, who continually take the stand against fracking, who work tirelessly to protect their communities, but also those that prove that our movement, our message, it's not one of being anti, it's not one of opposition, it's not one of negativity and NIMBYism as they'll make it seem. No, we're providing an alternative. Central Lancashire Friends of the Earth, the Renewable Energy Alliance Lancashire, and many of the groups that I'm looking at right here now, we are exemplifying this. Because our message is simple, but it's one that's vital. That sustainable green energy and a respect for the spirit of our communities together are the way forward.
Welcome to Manchester. My name is Jagger, the Green Party candidate for Mayor of Greater Manchester. Okay, thanks everyone for turning up today, and also thanks for everyone who has come to speak loud and clear against fracking. Also, thanks to the organisers who pulled this event together. That's brilliant, thank you. Also, thanks to the media who are going to report the enormity of what's at stake here today. And thanks in advance that they are going to give the fracking industry the robust scrutiny they deserve. To be topical, there's been a lot happening in America this week, but we need to make sure that no matter who is President of the United States, and in fact, no matter who's in 10 Downing Street for that matter, that the shale gas industry is not allowed to hoodwink the public into believing that fracking is any part of an energy strategy for the future. We absolutely need to remember why we are here and why we're for these things and why we're against fracking. It's the environment. It's our environment. So you can't be against fracking and for building on the greenbelt. You can't be against fracking and for expanding the airport. You can't be for and against the planet. We know what's coming. The facts are there and science doesn't negotiate. So we respect the facts, we fight the fossil fuel industry, and we build a green future because our lives depend on it. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Who here was at Balcombe? Anyone at Balcombe? In the sunshine, that's a southern way of doing it. Who here was at Barton Moss? Yeah, we'd have called it a good day at Barton Moss, wouldn't we? We'd say, great, the wind has stopped. Anyway, we're here today, we're not just a protest, we're not just a movement, we're a community. And one place that has definitely got a group is Frack Free Somerset. So I'm very pleased to announce Louise Somerville Wiiliams is going to speak next.
I think we're all standing up. We've all got up. And we're all going to stay standing up, because if there's one thing that we've worked out in this country, it's that we can win. When we gather together, when we make our voices known, we are part of a movement. We're part of history. We're making history here today. You are making history. We're changing the world together, and that's why we're here. In the city of the Piccadilly massacre, where people made history. You look at the history of the UK, at the road protest movement that changed the road building programme. You look at GM crop campaigners, they too came out in their masses. They gathered in their hundreds, and there is now no commercially grown GM in this country. The women of Glasgow, the women of Scotland that brought about the Fair Rent Act in Parliament in 8 weeks, well, we will be heard. The people that want to bring about this toxic industry have reckoned without our power. Each and every one of us has that power. For some of us, it's putting the dinner on the table when we get home. For others, it's booking a bus, it's running the Twitter account, the email. Some people are knitting, doing embroidery. There is a place in the frack-free movement for every single one of you. I came here today with the Lancashire Nanas. The Nana movement is growing across Britain. It's really strong and it's really powerful. And this morning on the Nana bus, we thought to check in for a moment with Leonard Cohen, who died yesterday, and he wrote this. So much of the world is plunged into darkness and chaos. So ring the bells that can still ring. Forget your perfect offering. There is a crack in everything, and that's how the light gets in. Across the world, at blockades, people have stood the way that we are standing now. In Australia, at the Bentley blockade, the Keystone Pipeline, people in the UK, at Bolcombe, at Barton Moss, at Upton, at West Newton, at Crawberry Hill, and now at Leith Hill. People have camped out over the winter, and we have said no to this toxic industry. And if there's one thing I'd really like us all to remember the whole time, is that we can win, we will win, we are the power, and that you, this is what democracy looks like.
Well, thank you very much. Well, we're going to be moving off shortly, and the main speakers are at Castlefield. But really, we want this end of the march to be about us, or you, the people who turn out in all weathers. Because I'm Martin Porter, I'm from the Manchester Greenpeace Network, and Greenpeace support this campaign. Greenpeace will be with you, but the Greenpeace method, dropping in with the boats and the climbers, quick bit of dropping the media mind bomb, disappearing off again, that will happen, but it's not going to be enough. It's going to require all of you to oppose every fracking application, to find every seismic survey and stand in front of every lorry, and to stand together with Frack Free Scarborough. We now do have all the nations of the United Kingdom present, because they want to frack this land, and to do it they've got to frack the bureaucracy and they've got to frack the law, and we found out about that at Barton Moss. And to speak a little bit about that, we've got Nina. Sorry, we have Kevin from Netpol, who's been, some of you at Barton Moss may have spoken to him. He can tell us a bit more about how that has gone on. Kevin.
I'm not going to say too much. The main reason why I'm here today is some of you will know that the work that Netpol has done it's been about defending people's rights to take part in protests against fracking, and that quite often what people find is that in taking a stand, the opposition that they feel that they receive is not only from the fracking companies but is also from the police. One of the things that we're really keen to ensure is that over the next year, when people are taking a stand against fracking sites, that they're not finding that their campaigns are being undermined and disrupted by heavy-handed, aggressive and unnecessarily disproportionate policing operations. One of the things that we are doing today is we're giving out some information about a piece of research that we're doing with academics from University of York, from Liverpool John Moore University and from the University of London, which is to try and find and speak to as many people who've already been part of protests, to get their testimony down, to make sure that we're learning the lessons from what people have experienced in the past, to make sure that we're putting pressure on the police for the future. Many of you will also know that we've just done a report on the policing of anti-fracking protests. I've got some copies here if anybody wants them. One of the things I would say is that if you see over the next 6 months adverts for Know Your Rights sessions that are being offered by ourselves and by an organisation called Green and Black Cross, if you get an opportunity to train as legal observers, please take it, because it's really important that if you're going to be able to protest, that your rights to protest are defended.